I had to get over the fear of trading time for knowledge and then executing and getting results. The mentor is just the bridge between what you don't know and what you need to know in order to be somewhere that you've never been.
You already had the success of doing what you preach, doing what you teach. Now we need to come up with a digital product that can live forever, make money while you sleep. This is your host, Mike G, and this is another episode on Building Billions podcast where I bring on my super friends, my entrepreneur friends that's doing big things in the community, making impact not to only themselves and their family, but for others. Tonight is no different. I got my guy all the way from Tampa, Chris Mills, man. How you doing, brother? Introduce yourself to my family out here, man.
What's happening, my boy? Yo, big shout out to Mike Green. Hey, before I even introduce myself, bro, you know that we friends, you know what I mean?
Now we family.
And it's, family, there it is.
Family.
And it's like, bro, all the stuff that you do, and you're great at everything that you do, you know what I mean? And for you to even take on a podcast and even into this realm, and I've already seen, they ain't seen it yet, but I seen what you got to unpack for the people, man. I just want to congratulate you on everything you're doing. For taking a leap of faith, bro. Keeping God first.
Hey, just know that you was part of it, though, man. I've been watching you. You know, we've been friends for what, 4-5 years?
About 4-5 years now. Yeah.
You know, I met you in a mentorship. You were in the mentorship. Your mentor was in my mentorship.
Yeah.
She brought me on.
Yeah.
And that's when I did a call on there, I think.
Yeah.
And I was talking about funnels and how you can make money with digital products. And you reached out to me and you was like, bro, you killed that class.
Yeah.
Help me out. And what we do with that?
And we've been locked in ever since.
Facts,
yes, sir. So for the people who don't know, my name is Chris Mills. I go by Real Estate Mills on TikTok and Instagram. And I'm a real estate wholesaler. I also specialize in a couple other different niches in real estate, like short sales and creative financing. And I also have a real estate license. I'm a realtor in the state of Florida.
Okay.
I've been doing it for the past 9 years, man. And the past 2 years, that's the mentorship that I was in where I met you. I started my mentorship. I needed a coach on how to be a coach.
Facts.
And that's where I met you at. And, man, we've been kicking it ever since. And I just been doing my thing on real estate and the coaching space and just trying to impact, not only my life and my family life, but as many lives as possible. I'm a man of God. I believe in Jesus Christ. That's my Lord and Savior. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And these are some of the things that, mean the most to me. On top of just business and making money. I take my Lord very serious. I take my being a husband, being a father, and also being a good friend and being a good worker.
Hey, man, shout out to you, bro. Big shout out to God. And, bro, we talk about impact, man. Before we just jump straight into it, man, kind of the word I know you. Me and you talk every day, bro. We build, we help each other. We get money together.
Yeah.
We help other people get money together. But for those who don't know you, man, kind of take me back, bro. I know you from working in the middle of the mall and not being Real Estate Mills. I know your story. So tell everybody your story, bro.
Yeah, right. It wasn't always sweet. So, we see people on Instagram and TikTok and, people post their highlights and they never really show where they started from. So I'm born and raised in Tampa, Florida. Not a lot of people really knew about Tampa. I was just talking to your wife about it downstairs. Not a lot of people knew about Tampa before Tom Brady came out to Tampa and started going crazy. The Bucs, like the worst team, one of the worst teams in the NFL for years and years, right? And it's like, that's where I'm from. I ain't grow up with a silver spoon or nothing like that. My grandmother, I really lived with my grandparents for a long time. I stayed with my parents for a little bit, but they divorced when I was young, like 6 years old. And so I didn't really want to pick who I was going to live with. So I chose that, I'm going to just be neutral. I'm going to stay with grandma. I go to dad's house on the weekends, hang out with mom when I can. And, baseball was my first love. So I did baseball all the way through high school. But when high school was over, now we 18 and, you got to get a job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had got a job at the mall. That's kind of like where my story starts at in my adult life is at University Mall. in the north side of Tampa, Florida.
Were you like in the middle of the mall selling fake ice?
Nah. We actually had one of the hottest stores in the city. That's kind of how I got plugged into the city, because we sold Jordans. We sold what they call now drip. Okay. You know what I mean? What the young people call drip.
Like a city gear type store?
Type stuff. More like DTLR. Okay. If people know what DTLR is. Yeah, we sold drip, all the freshest gear, and you know what I mean, Red Monkey jeans. Back then, Coogee. You remember Coogee?
I remember Coogee.
We used to sell Coogee and Robin jeans and all this different. And every Jordan release, we had a Nike contract. We sold Jordans. And I mean, that's why I started $9 an hour.
$9 an hour.
Yeah, I got my first job at 17. And my dad told me too, because when I was playing baseball, he said, "Yo, if you get a job while you in school, you may be stuck at that job throughout your adulthood." And I look up from 17 to 25, I was at that mall, and the highest salary I got was $11 an hour.
What?
So these are some of my beginnings of me watching dope boys and scammers coming through, and they cashing out. The girls like them. You know, when we get off work, I think we're going to smoke and we're going to the club. And who's the players? They're the drug dealers and the cat scamming. So that's what we was looking up to. You hear me? So when I get off work, we looking to push pack. We looking to do whatever we can to get some extra money, because $9, $11 an hour just, I don't even think they can pay.
How old did you say you were when you left that job?
I started working at 17 when I was a senior in high school, and then I left when I found real estate at 25.
So you found real estate at 25. You quit your job in the mall. And then when you mean like I started real estate, you went and got your license or?
Nah. So when I was working in the mall, the store got shut down, and DTLR was coming into Tampa. DTLR, for those who don't know, DTLR is like a real popular lifestyle brand. They sell, Jordans, drip, all that type stuff, and they was coming down to Tampa. So our current store was getting shut down. So I was kind of transitioning over there, but I'm 24, 25 years old. I'm still living with my grandma. I call her Nana.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm like, bro, I'm a smart dude. Like, I'm a smart kid. Like, life kind of got to be better than this, what it's offering. I see people come in cash out, people driving nice cars in my city, and it's like, yo, I done got in trouble. I done caught 3 charges early, got felonies on my report card, hanging out with the wrong cats and just trying to make it, fam. So I'm looking at this YouTube video, and I start seeing wholesaling. My mom showed me a YouTube video on real estate, and I just start falling down a rabbit hole of YouTube. And I'm like, what is this real estate? What is this real estate? I always thought that you needed money in order to get started in real estate.
Right. What you mean? So you don't need money to get in real estate? Is that how you do your thing? Like no money? Like
yeah, I told somebody the other day, I've been in real estate for 9 years now, and I've yet to come to a closing table and have to pull money out of my pocket. I've always left closing with money. And it was a strategy called wholesaling. This is what got me hooked. I saw that there was a strategy that you could get started in real estate with no credit, no real estate license, no prior experience.
But you had experience being a realtor, right?
No.
we
talking about the beginning.
Oh, beginning. So you didn't have your realtor license when you first started?
No.
You just went straight from YouTube University, a thought in your mind, and then applying it, kind of like what you're saying.
Well, when I found out what it is through YouTube, I was like, yo, I need to learn how to do this. So I started looking on the internet. Instagram won that hot in 2015, 16, when I discovered what wholesaling was. It was more like Facebook and World Star Hip Hop. I don't know who heard of World Star Hip Hop. So I saw a video come up on World Star Hip Hop of a black guy, a brother. His name was Jay. He was out of Atlanta. And he was showing how this wholesale worked. Like you could find a property, not have a license, put it under contract, find a buyer, upsell the deal to them, and then you can make the middleman.
You speaking foreign language right now. You just said a contract, middleman, buyer, seller. Slow it down, bro. Slow it down. So, all right, so I get it. So you don't have a license. You found YouTube. You found the guy named Jay. He was talking about wholesaling real estate. And so kind of break down to me exactly what wholesale real estate is.
So you know how you familiar with Airbnb?
Facts, Airbnb.
You familiar with Turo?
I'm familiar with Turo.
You familiar with Amazon?
Facts.
these three businesses, what they have in common is they're all middlemans, right? So Turo don't really own cars, right? They're the middleman between the person who owns the car and the person who's renting the car. They get a fee, right? Amazon, they don't really hold products.
And they don't make the products neither.
They the middleman between the manufacturer and the customer.
Right.
And then Airbnb, they don't own no real estate. You know what I mean? They're the middleman between the owner and the person who's going to rent the property. So with wholesaling, we're the middleman between the owner and the investor, right? Okay. So my job is to get a seller to sell me their property at a discount.
Okay.
Right?
Now, all right, so let me stop you for a second. Why would anybody in 2025 sell you anything for a discount? Like, that don't even make sense.
That's a great question, bro. That's an amazing question, right?
Right.
And the answer's the same every time. When people get in trouble, they don't always want to sell, but they may need to sell, right? Like Evander Holyfield.
Okay.
He went bankrupt, went broke, spent all his money. He didn't want to sell his house to Ross for pennies on the dollar.
Right.
But he had to sell his house to Ross for pennies on the dollar because he was losing it. So people sell their house because they're going through what's called a problem. And in wholesaling and finding deals, there's 4 components.
Okay.
You got a person, a property, a problem, and a solution.
Okay.
I bring the solution, I make the money.
Okay.
Right? So that's kind of how it works. Because if you want to sell, you want the most money for the property, true or false?
True.
But if you need to sell, you kind of need to sell fast, and you'll be willing to take whatever you can from, like a blowout sale when the store's going out of business.
Right.
They mark all their stuff down so they can sell it what? Fast. Yeah.
But not cheap.
Cheap. They mark it down.
Yeah. Okay.
Sears, 75% off. Come get it. Everything. Blockbuster when they went out of business.
Because they got a problem.
You got a problem. You
too much inventory. It's been sitting too long. Nobody really want it. It may be a little ugly, but it may be right for the right person.
Exactly, bro. So that's how we get good wholesale deals. We find people in pre-foreclosure. That's a problem. They losing their property to the bank. We find people who got back taxes. That's a problem. People who passed away and now the kids inherit a property. You know what I mean? They never paid taxes. They never was a landlord. They never fixed up anything.
They just got something.
Now they want to do what? I want the money. I want to exchange it. I want to exchange what I inherited.
So, all right. Yeah. So I kind of got the concept a little bit. So how do you find these type of people? Like, I understand the problem now. Now, how do I find somebody like that?
Bet. So you got public record, right? You got different softwares. Back in the day when I started in 2016, we would just go on public record. So every county website has a public record of where they record deeds, mortgages, divorces, eviction notices, back taxes. Like all of this stuff is recorded at your county public records website. So back in the day, we would go pull lists of people who are 6 months behind on their mortgage payment, people who are 2 years behind on their taxes, and we would pull the list, skip trace the owner, get the address, and reach out to these people.
Whoa, hold on now. Yeah. Stop saying fancy words without telling me what it means. Skip trace. Okay, all right. So what is skip trace? Is that like a technique to find people? Like, what are you skipping over?
Yeah, so skip trace is you taking somebody's you taking somebody's name and their address, and you putting it in a system to get their phone number.
Okay.
And so we need phone numbers in order to reach out to them. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Can I be honest?
Hey, for sure.
A lot of time we would go door knocking when I started, fam, we was door knocking. We weren't like too cute, prima donna. Nowadays, people scared to go out, knock on doors, or get sweaty and put their t-shirts and their comfortable shoes on and go knock on doors.
Guerrilla marketing.
You know what I mean? The old school way.
Right.
So I got a lot of my deals by pulling a list that was in my zip code, right? I got it from my mentor. I know we'll go into that segment in a minute, right?
Right.
But I get a list from my mentor in my zip code, my area that I'm familiar with, and I would go knock on these people's door and say, hey, Mr. Green, I see that you may be behind on your mortgage payment. You may be going through some type of financial hardship. You know, my name is Chris Mills. I'm a real estate professional, more like a problem solver. We help people who may have an issue with the bank or with their lender, and we try to help you get out of it, give you some options. What day, what time you think you can come into the office and speak with us about solving your problem at no cost to you? What day, what time you available, Mr. Green?
Hey, so I don't know too much about real estate, but That damn near sound like a script. Is that your to go to? Like, that's how you get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, every business, every closer got a script, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my pre-foreclosure script. You know what I mean?
like that.
I don't like to come at them type of people as like a vulture. Hey, I want to buy your house. You want to sell? Like, I don't come at people who behind on their mortgage, they losing their house, and here come this joker knocking on my door asking me if I want to sell him my house for pennies on the dollar. It's a different approach. But yeah, we learned all of that, man, through mentorship and coaching and, you know what I mean, going through the fire for sure.
Going through the fire, man. And that's just like, this is just one reason why I love this podcast, man, because I'm able to bring on my super friends like you, bro, and just, man, get the game.
Yeah.
You know, I know you got so much game, and you share it. Like you said, you're a mentor. You have mentors.
Yeah.
Bro, you cold with it, dog. You cold with it. Like what you just told me, bro, that's some cold game right there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
How long you been doing this?
So I've been doing this for 9 years. I found my mentor in 2016. I found out, I got that YouTube video in like 2015, and I was trying it on my own from YouTube, and I had y'all, you know, the fans probably doing this now. They got spiral notebooks. They taking down their notes, but they may not be taking no action, but they getting a lot of information. So I was stuck in that stage in 15, but I kept seeing that they kept saying, you need a mentor, you need a mentor, you need a mentor. So I'm like, well, let me go start fishing for a mentor. So I went to like a Robert Kiyosaki event. Are you familiar with the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
So he was touring and he had a coaching program, and they came in our city with a free seminar. I went to the seminar and I was like, man, I'm ready to hire a coach and mentor.
Right.
The end came and they made the offer. That dude asking for $30,000.
Ooh, wee.
I'm like, yo,
if
fam.
you had it, would you pay it?
I'm like, yo, fam, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, if I had $30,000, I'll buy a house.
Oh, okay.
Or a property. But that would have been the wrong move.
Right.
Because I would have lost $30,000 because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
So yeah, now that I know what I know now, I would definitely have paid that.
So that was your first mentor or no?
No, I ended up not being able to afford it.
Okay.
Right? So I kept looking for mentors, and I ended up finding a guy in my city who been in real estate for over 30 years. By the time he was 27, he had 100 doors that was paying him rent. And he had a real estate brokerage, a mortgage brokerage, a general aid contractor. He was a hard money lender. He basically had what's called a one-stop shop for the real estate industry. Anything you needed that pertained to real estate, you can get in this building. And then he trained and coached as well, but he didn't charge money. He charged time, you know, which if you want to get into that, we could get into that.
Oh, yeah, facts. You know, I believe your time is your most valuable asset that God gives you, bro. Once somebody robs you from your time, shoot, it's hard for you to build. But when you got that time, you got your clear mind, you can get to work. You know what I'm saying? So did you do your first deal before the mentor or after the mentor?
After. I was trying to do it on my own, and I got kind of close, bro. I'm not going to lie, but you need everything really in order to sew it up, in order to close the deal. So I wasn't able to close the deal until I found Sorales, my first mentor. And it's like once I found Sorales, the next 6 months, I had 10 deals under contract. 5 of them flopped, but 5 of them closed.
All right, hold on. You said in 6 months you had 10 under contract.
10.
Under contract, break that down to me.
Under contract just means in the wholesale industry, you don't make money until the deal closes in funds, right? Until the buyer wires the funds to the title company, you don't make money yet, right? So when you get it under contract, that's your agreement between the seller, and I'm marketing to buyers to get it closed, right? So under contract, you can call that your pipeline. I call it the pipeline.
Okay.
So the goal is to fill up the pipeline as much as possible, hoping that is like throwing stuff against the wall,
right?
Hoping it stick.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we get deals under contract. Just because you got it under contract don't mean it's going to close.
So you got more work to do after you get it under contract. So within 6 months, you had 10 under contract, but you still had more work to do.
Right. I found buyers for 5, and those 5 closed. The other 5 I couldn't find buyers for because I probably locked it up too high, probably got it too high where nobody was interested. the property just wasn't an attractive property, or it didn't produce enough income or could make a buyer any money. So those 5 flopped. I mean, I did work. They was under contract. They fell apart. I made 0. But because I had a pipeline of 10 deals that I was working on, 5 may have flopped. I failed 5 times, but then I succeeded 5 times. And those 5 times was just enough that I needed to quit my job at the mall and at the call center and pursue real estate full time.
All right, so 5 deals out of 10. How much money that bring?
Man, I think that time, that was my first time ever seeing like $35,000 at one time. This 2016, I'm 24, 25 years old. You know what I mean? I've been working at the mall making $9, $11 an hour. The most I ever made as a W-2 employee was $12 an hour at the call center. I quit the mall. They made me work weekends and all that type of stuff. I'm like, yo, if I could get a regular 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, I could get off at 5, work with my mentor, and work on weekends. Cause you know in retail you gotta work weekends, fam.
Yeah, and retail hours crazy too. You miss time with your
holidays,
family,
all that
holidays,
you know,
long hours. Yeah.
So I'm doing that 6 years. I'm like, yo, if I'm doing the same thing,
right,
I'm not gonna get no result. Like I need to make a major change. So I was comfortable at my job. I ain't have to do too much. I help cause I could pay my little car note, whatever. I said if I want a major change, I need to change my job. So I went from retail hours to a little call center, which I think I learned some good like call skills and how to close and
how
pitches,
to write that script.
How to write that script, you hear me?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so I think that was God leading me through a path that I needed to take.
Now look, bro, so I know this. Do you mind sharing this, bro? Didn't you like sleep on the floor at your mentor? Like, didn't y'all establish a strong relationship where you kind of slept at his place? Or I remember you telling me something like that. I may be saying it wrong, but is that true?
So what happened was I was living with my grandparents when I was learning this, and my grandpa all of a sudden passed away on a trip. And then grandma, like 6-7 months later, she went on hospice, and 10 months later she passed away. So we wasn't making our mortgage payment when grandpa passed away. So, you know, we started getting letters that our house finna get foreclosed on. Like, this is my childhood house. I caught the bus outside, you hear me? All that type stuff. And it's like, man, I'm finna lose this house, but I just met this guru who know how to help me save the house. So during the time of me dealing with grandma, and for those who got people on hospice, you know that like they'll come by maybe 3 days a week and they do a little something, but they don't do enough to really fully take care of them. Like, you got to learn how to roll her and change her and take her to the bathroom. And so I'm going through that while working at the mall, while trying to learn this real estate game. Like, God don't make it easy when he transitioning you from where you at to where he wants you to go. He don't make it easy for you, but those who endure to the end will be rewarded and blessed. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm going through that, and I tell my mentor what's going on. They both passed away. We losing the house. I'm like, look, bro, I'm at the bottom right now, fam. I'm like, I come to your office, I answer your phones. I'm basically the Karate Kid. You Mr. Miyagi. I'm, teaching classes and stuff, and I ain't never closed no deal. I'm just showing them how I'm knocking on doors, my pitch, and what I mean? It's like I'm doing a lot of work, but I'm not getting paid, and we not used to that. Where we from, bro, if you put in some hours, we looking to get paid, fam. So this entrepreneur stuff that y'all talking about, where I got to do a bunch of work for free,
sweat equity.
That's some BS.
You
know what I mean? So I'm getting into it with him, and I'm like, bro, if you can just give me, because the building that he was in, there was 9 apartments upstairs, and then the real estate office was downstairs. I said, bro, can you give me a apartment? I'll work. Like, I'm working for free. Just give me an apartment.
So y'all had lost the house?
We ended up, he helped me save the house.
Okay.
In what's called a short sale, which I became a master at by going through that time in my life, right? So we owed 100. He helped me get it back from the bank for 40, and then I sold it to an investor for 60. You know what I mean? So during the time where I was really, forgive my effed up a little bit, you know what I mean? I still had this mentor who helped me get through this, which I learned how to do a deal at the same time and got a apartment for free or whatever.
Right.
And that kind of started my real estate journey. Now I live at real estate.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
Because when I wake up, the building is downstairs.
You ain't got no choice but to work.
I'm upstairs. I wake up, I come down, and willingly, bruh. Like, I've been watching YouTube year now. You know what I mean? At this time, I look up to this guy. Like you are really what I want to be. You got 30 years in the game. You're a multi-millionaire in my city. I know Tampa. I'm from Tampa. I'm born and raised. I know them areas you talking about you bought houses at. You get what I'm saying? And so I was looking up to this guy, and I'm like, yo, most people give a university 4 years. I said, Sorales, bro, I'll give you 4 years, fam. I'll work in this office. I'll answer your phones. I just want to learn from you. And he said, Mills, I'm not going to pay you a salary. Because if I pay you a salary, I'm going to cripple you. And you're going to be comfortable with just the salary that I pay you. He said, but what I will do, I'll give you $200 a week to pay your little bills. Right? But the only real money that you're going to get is going to have to come from deals.
Sheesh. All right. Well, hey, he was helping you, though. It sounded like he was helping you. It sounded like he gave you a roof over your head. He helped you close that short deal. Yeah. Did you make money for that, or did you go back into that house? Or
I ended up moving out the house. I sold it to an investor who happened to be a long-term investor for me, who I did multiple flips with. That one investor alone that I sold my grandma's house to has paid me over 7 figures in assignment fees, just one investor. That problem that I went through would allow me to find an investor, right? Find my mentor, make money on a deal, and be able to ultimately get rich.
Get rich. So, hey, man, that's a hell of a story, bro. So, seems like you went through a lot, you endured a lot, you learned a lot, and now that's helped you become the man who you are, the mentor that you are, the coach that you are, the father that you are, the husband that you are. So now let's kind of fast forward to 2025. We talk about impact. You know, I know we had these conversations every day. You know, I've seen you help people make big money. When I say big money, I mean big money. I mean 6 figures. Yeah. Not 100,000, but 200,000.
Yeah.
In 60 days. I've seen you do that, bro. How did you develop the skills to be able to coach other people?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When I started in real estate, you know, I've been doing it 9 years, right? And I just started coaching like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago when I met you, right? I thought coaching and mentorship was the corniest thing I ever seen online, right? 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, like I'm really doing deals. I'm really in the business. You know what I'm saying? I see these cats on.
How'd you think it was corny when somebody coached you?
Because it's like, if you making so much money, why you gonna go teach somebody? Why would you train up your competition?
I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying.
If you so lit, why you need to take my money to teach me, right?
Okay, you had the stingy mentality.
I was one of them. I was what I be getting on other people about. Okay. Now my mindset way different. You know, right? My mindset way different now. But that's how some of y'all may be thinking. That's how some of your audience may be thinking. It's like, if you so lit, why you need to take my money to coach me? And so I stayed away from coaching until people kept asking me, bro, like kept in my DMs. Can you show me how you doing it? Can you show me how you do that deal? Show me how you do this. Show me how you doing. Like, they just keep bothering you in your DMs about how to do it to where it feel like a calling. You know what I'm saying? Because you can run from it, you can avoid it. And so I started wanting to show like my family members and friends and people that was close to me first, and they wouldn't do it.
Right.
But you got to think, I'm teaching them for free, thinking that I'm doing them a favor.
Right.
And so this is how I'm starting to learn about trading time for education.
Right.
And so I'm learning like, yo, I'm spending free time with these cats, and then they taking it for granted. So like, y'all can apply it when you want to or not. You know what I mean? But
free, a lot of people, they don't pay attention until they pay. You know what I mean? So when you was giving out that free game, they weren't paying attention.
Because they ain't pay. You already know, fam. And so I was doing that, and then I kept seeing like some videos come across my page about like coaching and how to build a course or how to build a digital product of what you know. And so you got people who painters and they create a digital product on how to paint a mural. Or you got people who do whatever and they teaching their whatever and they're making money.
Right.
And I'm like, yo, I got a skill. Like I got results.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let me see if I can do it. And so at the time, now they charging, I think I found my first mentor, she was charging $5K for her mentorship, basically to coach you on how to be a coach and how to structure and package your course and how to launch digital products and how to market and how to talk and how to close. And so $5K now 5K is nothing. You know what I mean? Like now to pay thousands of dollars is nothing because you got it. Right. And I'm like, yo, I need to learn this information. So I ended up paying her that $5K. And from that, I made my investment back fairly quickly. And within the same year, she upsold me on what's called an inner circle mentorship, which was $30K.
Right.
Which she let me put a little down payment down. You know what I mean? Type of stuff.
Right.
And so I did that, bro. And then the first 60 days, I made my $30K back.
Yeah, Lee, that's a hell of a mentor. Shout out Dana. I know who your mentor is.
Yeah, shout out Dana Christian.
Yeah.
And then within that 12-month span, I made $97,000 on just coaching products and digital products. And I only paid her $35,000.
All right, let's not skip on the digital products, my brother. Yeah. So I think I met you. You said, hey, Mike, in that course,
yeah,
and you needed a digital product.
Yes.
Did I make your first digital product? I don't know if that was your first one or you tried or then you came to me.
Bro, until I saw, because Dana would have other people come into her mentorship and coach and teach and stuff, right?
Right.
You was the first person that I seen come up there, like, really show us what an ebook looked like or how to white label and how to build the course in a funnel. Like, I heard the word funnel,
right,
but I really didn't know what it was.
I remember that conversation too. I pretty much was like, hey, a funnel is like a line through the drive-through. You know, they got you from the commercial.
Yeah.
You got hooked from the commercial. And then once you get into that, once you go from commercial to in your car, to drive to that drive-through window, to somebody answering your order, until you finally getting your product. I think that's how I broke it down in her mentorship. And that's really the easy way to kind of understand what a funnel is.
What a funnel was.
And then we made a digital product just for you. I think it was a 10K and 30K, 10K and 30
you
days.
You did 4 for me.
Oh, yeah, we went crazy. Yeah. You got to have the upsells and the downsells and the free offers. So, yeah, we built a strong funnel because you already had the success of doing what you preach, doing what you teach. Now we need to come up with a digital product that can live forever, make money while you sleep.
Yeah.
So I think we did that. We built the funnel. Did we make some money?
Bro, you was the one, like I said, 97K in 12 months. And you remember what we said on the first Webby? Because remember, I was so nervous on the first Webby.
Right.
And you was like, yo, Mills, if you do X amount of dollars on the first Webby, we gonna go to the Bucks and Dallas game.
Facts.
First
was
game
it 10K?
Of the season.
I think it was 10K.
In Dallas. It was 6K.
It was 6K?
First.
Okay.
No, yeah, 6K.
Okay.
6K on the first
first webinar.
And I called you and I was like, it worked. It worked. And then when you see people actually do deals and they give you your testimonials, because right, you got to build up testimonials. And granted, I already had testimonials before I launched the digital products from me teaching for free. And, you know, sometimes you may got to teach for free until you run across students who actually execute, right? And then you can use their execution as your testimonial to now launch your product. So sometimes you do got to do stuff for free to get the testimonial or get the results.
And that product's still rolling. That was 3 years ago. That thing still doing numbers.
You already know.
Still doing numbers.
Yeah.
And then we did go to the Bucks and Cowboy game. Yeah. You flew down to Dallas. That was your first time here.
Yeah.
And then the second time was last year. I brought you down for the Building Billions conference. You spoke on stage, killed the stage. I was just in the barbershop today. And the barber, he came to the event and he was like, I said, yeah, I got my boy Chris Mills coming down tonight. And he gonna do the podcast. He was like, bro, that's the real estate guy? I remember that guy. He said, man, that dude's story touched my soul, man. No. He said, I went and told everybody about that, man. So I know you doing an impact for others, bro. I know you helping others. Let's just talk about impact, man. That's a big key word, bro. Yeah. Let's talk about impact. What does that mean to you?
So impact, man, is really like just you being vulnerable and you basically investing your time into somebody else, right, in order to change their situation. And it ain't even got to be you spending time with them, but maybe you, like this podcast, like what we talking about and what we sharing about, the hospice and the story and transitioning from where you at to where you want to be, that alone could impact somebody on
big impact
on the other side of their phone or their laptop or whatever they watching this on. And it's a feeling that touches somebody that makes them want to change. You get what I'm saying? So that's what impact means to me. When you can touch, like your barber said, when you can touch somebody's soul from a story or a demonstration or a testimony, and it hits them like here.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it touched them,
That's
and it
impact.
make them want to go share it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people who feel something, they don't keep it to themselves. They want to go share it.
Right.
So that's what impact is for me. And I think that, just getting back to coaching and mentorship and, me transitioning from me thinking it's corny and scammy to me thinking that it's actually mandatory and it's a way of life. There's no successful or wealthy person that does not have a mentor, fam. And most of them have multiple.
I got multiple.
So if you still out there crying about this a scam, we know that scam mean that you still confused about money. Family, what's going on? Hey, check it out. I know y'all loving the episode. Hope y'all enjoying it. Real quick, if you are a wholesaler or a realtor and you're struggling getting new leads and closing more deals in your business, I want to help you solve that problem. Click the link in the description. I'm launching my community where we're showing people how to attract inbound leads into your business without cold calling, without sending out mail out letters, and without spending 6 hours a day on the grind. Click the link in the description right now, join our community, and come tap in with us and let me show you the right way to wholesale real estate and generate leads. You know what I mean? And that's a disease that you need to have cured, or else you're going to be sick and eventually you're going to DIE.
But some people got trauma behind that. Some people have really been scammed. They not scared. They actually took the risk and they actually, got trauma behind that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to people like that actually feel like mentorship is a scam, or it could be a scam, or maybe this person won't deliver? Is there a vetting process or something like that,
Yeah. Well, for me, myself personally, with Dana, I watched Dana for a year or 2 years before I decided to transfer any money. And it really didn't have to really do with her. She was doing the same thing the whole 2 years I was watching her. It was more so me. I had to get over the fear of trading time for knowledge and then executing and getting results. That's all really a mentor is. A mentor is just the bridge between what you don't know and what you need to know in order to be somewhere that you've never been. And then a mentor is supposed to get you there faster than if you was to try to do it on your own. That's what you're paying for. You get what I'm saying? Also, think about it from the mentor's point of view. You're taking them away from their 6 to 7 or 8 figure producing business to come spend time with you, the beginner, who may or may not execute on this information and may or may not take action now. You get what I'm saying? So it makes sense now to me, now that I am a mentor and I have taught people for free and they have wasted my time and that did take away from me making money in my own business.
Right.
Now it makes sense. Oh, I'm over here getting pissed off at people who charging me 30 racks and 20 racks back in the day when I didn't know no better. And it's like, yo, that's actually
a good price.
A good price.
Right, because they taking their time out from making money to help you make money. So
I made what I paid you in 60 to 90 days.
Yeah.
And now you can't take that information from me, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as don't nobody knock me over my head and I don't get no amnesia, I'm always going to remember how I made that money, and I can get better. I can produce more. I can be faster. I can multiply. I can scale it. You really charge me too less with the $20,000, $30,000. So that's for people who think like everything is scam or whatever, think about it, bro. The whole America done been scammed already to believe that go to school for 12 years, come out, get a college degree, and now you finna be successful. That's a scam. Right? And we all know it. It's all over the internet. We see that most of the successful people, probably over 95% of them, do not have a college degree.
Unless you're a doctor or a lawyer.
And then you're still a high-paying servant because you can't miss a day of work or you can't pay a bill.
No.
I can miss days of work.
Right.
I'm cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? A doctor can't miss a day of work.
Right.
A lawyer
still trading that time in.
A lawyer
for money.
can't miss a day of work.
Right.
High paying publicist, she can't miss a day of work, fam. Right. So y'all already being scammed. So if you worried about a scam, you need to analyze your own life and look at the other side and be like, yo, it's what Mills and Mike Green and A-Mob and all these different people who out here, they traded they money for knowledge, and now in a very short amount of time, they thriving.
That's the cheat code, really, bro. Mentorship is like skipping the line. I think that's what me and Xavier was talking about on a previous episode. Mentorship is how you skip the line. It's the fast track. You've already kind of learned from the failures of them, and they're going to speed you up. Why not do it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So talking about mentorship, I know you are a mentor to a lot of people. Break your mentorship down to me. Kind of break that down to me, big dog.
That's a bet. So I got 3 tiers, right? I got a low ticket, a mid ticket, and a high ticket. The low ticket is just for beginners who just getting started, who, I'm in the real estate industry and I'm in wholesaling specifically. So in my business, if you're not talking to sellers every day and you're not making offers every day, you got a 0% chance of closing a deal anytime soon. So I partner with a company called Deal Sniper. Very young guys, young creators. All of them are under 23, 22 years old. They super nasty with the tech and the software and just building out, problem solving businesses, right? So I partner with them. They showed me some TikTok game. I jumped on TikTok live. I was moving it, pushing it, because I didn't have a low ticket offer. So the software is built to have AI send out offers and formulate offers on listed properties that's been on the market for 90 days or more. So all the student or mentee got to do, it's only $1 a day. It's literally $30 a month, right? And we throw them in the Discord where we have weekly trainings. We give them PDFs and templates that they can use, contracts, scripts, basically everything that they need, right? And they can just copy and paste. Take an address, put it in the AI, hit search, and it'll print out an offer that they can send until they get a yes.
And that's the low ticket? That sounds like the high ticket.
Don't it? Don't it, though? Yeah. Ain't no excuse. So I wanted to have something where people got no excuse. You get what I'm saying? And where there's some innovative new technology. We all know that the whole industry is going towards AI. If your business ain't got AI in it and you don't get it soon, you're going to be left behind. You hear me? So I wanted a way where I can break into the artificial intelligence industry and how I can use that in my real estate business to help other people. So I seen it worked for me. I was using it, and then I'm like, yeah, I can push this. I can advocate for this.
And so that's kind of fairly new to you. I remember when you kind of fell on Deal Snipe.
January.
Yeah. How many people you got into that?
Bro, I got 317 affiliates.
Impact. Yeah. Impact. That's what we're talking about. Impact.
And I started in April. Yeah.
Sheesh. All right, so low ticket, Deal Snipe, mid ticket. What I get for the mid ticket?
So my mid ticket, that's my most popular program. It's only $9.97. Well, we had it for $2,500, but I'll be doing little specials, right? So people get in for $9.97, one-time payment, lifetime access.
Hey, man, it's so funny, bro. I be having conversation with Mills. He be like, yeah, man, I sold a few mentorships today, man. I said, you done gave somebody else lifetime assets, bro. Why you keep selling lifetime assets to you for $1,000, bro? We got to switch that up. I'm telling you.
Nah,
bro.
I got you. I ain't like big in Hollywood yet, so I can still be, you know what I mean? I got under 80.
Lifetime.
Yeah, I got under 80 mentees, so I can do that. No, the reason I did it was because I used to do live Zoom calls every Tuesday and Thursday for 4 weeks. And so what I ended up, and I would sell that for $2,500 or $1,500, one of those. So what I ended up doing was I just recorded all of my courses and I packaged it up and I just started selling the replays for $9.97. I figured like, yo, I already done did them. Like it's done. I did it one time, $9.97. They can have it for life. They can replay it anytime they want. And then I want to hold them accountable on bi-weekly Q&A call. So every other Wednesday, they can come on the call and ask me a question about the course. You get what I'm saying? And then I give them my affiliate links and my contracts and scripts and everything like that. So every other Wednesday, we'll have a Q&A call where they can ask me questions on the material. Sometimes I'll even bring in another special guest who's who's a big dog in their industry. Like I had you come on there teaching like credit and funding. I had Byron Sellers, one half of Mobile Home Elite Investors, come and teach mobile home investing. I got a builder about to come on there. You know his name, Andy. Like I make sure I bring as much value as possible into that. That's why it's my most popular. Like,
right.
Yeah, so
plus
like,
it's lifetime. It's gonna be popular. Lifetime. Sign me up. Sign me up. As long as you breathe, I'm eating.
Facts.
All right. So we got low ticket, mid ticket. What's the high ticket?
All right, my high ticket, right? This is the new wave, right? So this is I call it my inbound wholesaling system. And basically what it's geared to do is geared to, a lot of people are getting into business and start doing what's called cold calling, where they're spending 6 hours a day just calling pre-foreclosure leads or divorce leads. And none of these people actually said, I want to sell you my house. You dig what I'm saying? So they getting hung up on people not answering the phone, right? And this takes a very, very long time to get a deal. On top of that, they're getting depressed. They getting like down, they doubting if it worked, and a lot of people quit when cold calling. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna build something to where they don't gotta call sellers gonna call them. And it's like, yo, how you do that? And so I built out what's called our inbound wholesale system, where it's basically guaranteed to give you high quality leads for motivated sellers who want to hear from you, they want to offer, they want to sell, and you are going to get multiple leads in your first 30 to 60 days that's going to convert higher, quicker, faster, and you make more money. So we do their logo, we create their ads, we create their high converting landing page, and we customly built them a CRM with text automation, email automations to where they can't mess up. I don't care if you brand new, you don't know nothing about real estate. We going to make you look like you've done real estate for the past 10 to 20 years as far as your online presence. And that's how, a lot of my high ticket people are getting deals faster because they skipping the line. They're not cold calling. They're not knocking on doors. They're not sending out letters. People are coming to them, asking them, yo, can you sell my house? Hey, how much will you offer for my house? Hey, I want you to make me offer. Like, these people want to sell their house. So the amount of people that you got to talk to in order to get your first deal,
right,
bro, I've done the numbers.
Right.
It takes 200 to 900 cold calls to get your first contract. It takes 20 to 30 inbound leads to get your first contract.
I ain't gonna lie, I got an inbound system.
Tell them about it, Mike.
So, I put a couple coins in the machine and bam, shot out a deal. Was I like the fastest person that kind of made a deal out of your machine?
Yeah, you actually did hit a record. So Mike somehow, he's anointed by the Lord. We all know that you definitely are blessed by Christ himself.
Yes.
Because you have never done a real estate deal in your life except your own house that you bought, right?
Right.
You've never flipped a house. You've never made an offer.
Estate. I hate it. It's too confusing for me.
And you made $3,000 on your first deal.
Easy.
Because the first lead that came into the system was a deal, fam.
Yeah, right.
And then we have a service as well as a upcharge where my acquisitions and dispositions team will work your lead so you can have what's called a hands-off experience.
Hands-off experience. So that's the kind of experience that I want. You know what I'm saying? So it sounds like if I was an investor, didn't want to learn, didn't want to do anything, you got a spot in line for me where you can make it happen.
Bro, and I'm getting a lot of business people who own businesses. They super busy. They want to get into wholesaling. They want to get into real estate, but they don't have the time or like even the desire to call and negotiate leads. That's not what they do. But they want to be in the business. They want to make the money. They know it's a good business. That's where we're filling a void and solving a problem. And that's all the business is, fam. Like, this whole podcast and everything everybody doing on Instagram, like all business owners are high paid problem solvers, and we solve people problems fast. That's why we get paid the big bucks.
Man, hey, you just said something right there. That was my secret, bro. I wasn't gonna tell nobody that secret, dog. Say that one more time.
Oh, do you remember what I said?
Bro, you said a businessman is just a high paid problem solver, bro. That's it. And that's really my cheat code. You know what I'm saying? Just being a problem solver. Knowing lots of people, hundreds of people, and everybody got some type of problem. Yeah. And most of the time, it's a money problem. So when you got access to money, you got access to getting money, everybody want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody needs you. You know what I'm saying? You're a problem solver. So, bro, hey, I like that. I like that.
Money solve a lot of problems, and money allow us to take care of our family, bro. You know what I mean? And I know we're going to get into that too, but it's like taking care of yourself is different than taking care of your family. When I was 25 in that apartment upstairs and I'm calling deals and I'm making all this money and I'm doing my first 7 figures in the first 4 years, it's like I blew through it and I went broke very fast. Why? Because I'm selfish, I'm self-centered, I'm arrogant, think I'm the man. I can blow a bag when I want to. I go on a trip when I want to. I do everything I want to. And then we learned that, you know, money is still numbers. And when you spending and you're not earning, you can go broke. You get what I'm saying? So that's what ended up happening to me. And, you know, I somehow bounced back, bro.
Not somehow, bro. Not somehow. You know how you bounce back, bro.
Yes, bro. Just know that definitely God has his hands on me, bro. Like 1,000%. I've had myself in a lot of bad situations. You've been down that road too. You know, I know. I think as a young black man, we all have gone down paths that we could have been in some, like we can't even be here right now. Some of the things we done did and situations we done got ourselves out of, and it's because God had a plan for our life. He got an anointing on us. There's still stuff that we got to do. You know what I mean? You had to make kids. You had to get married. You had to do this podcast. You had to build billions. You had to help all your clients. You get what I'm saying? It's like you got purpose, and then them people gonna provide purpose to other people. So God definitely had his hand on my life with my bounce back, and I done went broke a couple times in this 9-year journey, bro. People can come on here and act like it's all glamour and it's all good all the time because on Instagram, niggas, cats is only posting their highlights.
You're right.
Catch me. Cats is, you almost caught cross Fletcher Mills. You almost caught me back in the day. Nah, cats is posting their highlights, dog.
Right.
And we know that. And I've been broke at least 3 to 4 times on this 9-year journey. And I'm still not back at the workplace. Like, I'm still good. I'm still thriving. I'm still taking care of my wife and kids. Like, and that's kind of what changed it.
That is what changed it, bro. So, what would you tell somebody that has went broke and kind of discouraged from jumping back into the game?
So I can only talk on myself, right? So for me, it's like I know the skills that I got. I know the strategies. I know what I know on how to go back out there and produce it. But in entrepreneurship, and I think in every business, this is true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's this M word called momentum, right? And it's like in the beginning, the first 6 months, I'm hustling. I got all these deals under contract. I got all this momentum based on the activities that I'm doing. I call it my IPAs, my income producing activities. I'm doing these every day to, in the future, get some fruit from it. You get what I'm saying? That's how entrepreneurship work. You compound your activities, and then in the future, you get some work. What happens is when we get to work and we see our bank account, well, just for me, I saw my bank account and I look at it and I look at my bills and I'm like, bro, I can live for 2 years and not have to do nothing.
Right.
And it's like, boom, we get in that mindset and I stop doing the activities. Now you broke and now you got to start over.
You got to start over.
And I mean all over.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, fam.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let me get back on the horse. Let me do it. And when you get to a point where you ain't got no other choice, like every account is negative, you know what I mean? Bills is still rolling. It's like, okay, I ain't got no choice but to do what I know to get back. And God blesses you in them trials and tribulations.
Right, but you had to put the work in. Really, I think that's the key to it, is just putting in the work and compounding your momentum. Once you compounding that work, it's going to catch up to you.
It catch
that bread going to catch up to you as long as you put that work in.
And I think every entrepreneur done fell on their face, right? Because you come to a point where you ain't got no money. Now you learn entrepreneurship or your skill, whatever you're good at. You reach a mountaintop, and then over time, you come back down. You get what I'm saying? And now you got to reset. Or maybe you may got to reinvent yourself, or maybe do some of them same things that you was doing that get you where you at. Or maybe it takes you another direction. However it is, you know what you know now, right? You at a certain position, and you got to build it back up, build that momentum back up for sure.
All right, so this segment right here, we're going to slow it down a little bit, kind of break into my money segment. I want you to break down, if you only had $1,000, what would you do in 60 days to make more money?
I get meals $9.97 one-time payment, lifetime mentorship. Nah, I'm playing. But nah, $1,000, bro.
Give me a play. Like if you had $1,000, knowing the skill that you have. So just say you already went through Mills mentorship.
Yeah.
You got $1,000 to your name.
Yeah.
I'm still a little discouraged because I got a lot of knowledge, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I got 1,000 where what you teach, you don't even need money for it. But I got 1,000. My mindset is 1,000.
Yeah.
What do I do to make some bread in 60 days?
I'm buying leads. You know what I mean? I'm buying as many leads as possible because I know leads is going to produce me income, especially since you already said I done learned this stuff. I know it. I got my resources and tools.
I gave you my last 1,000.
You gave me the last 1,000. I'm
Right.
on 0. I got my knowledge, but I
Right.
only got 1,000. I'm buying leads because I know out of them leads, somebody in there is a deal. And the average wholesale deal, this just on average, fam. The average wholesale deal is $5,000 to $25,000.
Now, hold on. Let me slow you down a little bit. Do you mind if we tell the world places where we can buy leads? Like, this is a gym. This part of your $9.97 right here.
Yeah,
but we gotta give them a little appetizer. You know, we can't give them the whole entree, but we can give them a little appetizer.
That's cool.
Where you get leads from, bro?
I got you.
All right.
Let me drop my link in the description.
You can for sure.
So y'all, these links will be dropped in the description. So there's one avenue called iSpeed to Lead, right? Where basically, you remember I was telling you how we build a machine and we run ads and we attract motivated sellers into our system without cold calling. Well, iSpeed to Lead has this business model where they do that at a high level across the nation. Right, they run a lot of ads and they have a lot of marketing dollars that go out to attract leads. And so they capture those leads and they sell them on their platform to investors, wholesalers, realtors, even people who want to fix and flip can go on their platform, can hand pick a market, hand pick a lead, and that lead is motivated, ready to sell, ready to go. All the information on the lead is there when you purchase it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, if that lead doesn't close, you get your money back or you get another shot at it.
Yeah, they got a nice refund policy where if the property is sold already, if they're not interested in selling anymore, if it's listed already, if it went under contract, basically any reason other than them wanting too much money, you can get a refund back on the lead. Swap it, go get another lead.
Hey, and I pulled that out of him, ladies and gentlemen. You know, that is part of his $9.97. Hey, thank you for blessing my audience, bro, with that gem right there.
And just to give him one more, like that's how one of my mentees made $70,000 in his first 60 days in my mentorship, because he went and purchased these high quality leads while they was having a discount sale going on. Because a lot of times iSpeed will do like a little flash promo sale. You heard me? Where you can go get some leads for like $6, $9 or whatever. Call the lead and whatever it turned into, that's what it turned into.
So that sounds like that's the money play to me, bro. Like
inbound wholesaling is the money play.
That's the money play. And buying the leads.
Buying the leads.
iSpeed the lead.
Yeah.
You gonna drop that in the
We dropping that in the description. Right. Go get it in the description.
Bet.
And then the other way is like the inbound method.
The inbound method.
You know, that
cheat
I told
code.
Yeah.
That's a cheat code. That's a cheat code. All right, so bam. Give me another money play, bro. Let me get some more about your bag, dog.
Get your wife to help you out. That's a money play.
That's a play?
Yeah, bro, because I mean, women in business, dog, is dangerous. Like, women kind of taking over every industry. You can see the rap game, women taking over, you know what I mean? The entrepreneurship space, it's a lot of women killing it on IG and TikTok, right? And for my business alone, there's some sellers and some clients that when I talk to them, we kind of butt heads a little bit. Like older gentlemen who own their property, they know their property. They're not going to let you shortchange them. But when my wife get on the phone with them, they be singing a different song. And sometimes she can close leads that I can't close. A lot of my good deals and big deals have come from Courtney's mouthpiece. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a gem within its own. Like having a co-pilot or a woman who is the female duplicate of you, which just makes it even nastier that now you got a female version of you out there.
I got one of those. Yeah, she code.
And tell me, is that not a gem?
No, that's a cheat code.
Y'all welcome.
For sure. All right, so that's one. That's two. We got to give him one more. We got to give him one. Yeah, one more.
All right, so
no, hold on, wait. You got to dig deep in your bag. I'm talking about deep. I'm talking about that high ticket mentorship bag.
I got you. So this may or may not be high ticket, but I think it is, bro, right? And I was a victim of this, of not using this. Credit and funding, bro. Mm-hmm. Credit and funding. So where I come from, we use cash for everything, especially the rate that we can produce cash from these deals. You get what I'm saying, bro? I can lock up a deal under contract in the next 30 days. It's going to spit out whatever it spit out, right? Like you said, I had a mentee who just did a deal May 8th. He closed an assignment fee for $105,000, bro.
Sheesh.
Right? $200K came in, 105 of it was profit.
Sheesh.
You get what I'm saying? Then he had another one for 12.5. Like, we can spend cash for everything that come in. Mm-hmm. But with this credit and funding, I learned that your cash is better off in your pocket. That you can get access to more money than you can produce if you have your credit right, your credit profile, and you got your business and everything set up a particular way, right? Which a lot of people out there are teaching. There's a wrong way to do it. There's a right way to do it. And then, like, there's an elite way to do it. But what I know of you, you teach the elite way to do it.
Yeah, the cheat code.
And I know that when I had my credentials set up, right, that's when me and my wife started our second business. Well, our third business. Because I had the real estate business, the coaching business, and then we started our rental car business.
Right.
My credit and my funding ability allowed me to get $40,000 in credit cards and allowed me to get 9 cars and a Sprinter van. You get what I'm saying?
Off the credit.
Off the credit. And that business was spitting out $9,500 profit after paying car notes, insurance bills, and all that type stuff. It was spitting out $9,500 a month profit instantly.
Instantly.
Cause you gotta think, as soon as you get the car, I can rent it the same day or list it. I can list it the same day. It can rent tomorrow. My payment sometimes, depending on how you negotiate, is not due until like 3 months.
Now look, bro. Now I know you like my brother, dog. So I know. All right, let's kind of talk about that car game.
Yeah.
I know you went on YouTube and learned that because we talked about the importance of a mentor. I know you went to YouTube and just learned that without a mentor. You hopped into that game without a mentor, right? Yeah. Was that a smart move?
No, it's not a smart move, right? Because you could get lucky, fam, right? And you could do good quick, and you could do good for a little bit. But when things come up that you don't know how to solve, and you ain't got nobody to call, you ain't got no scapegoat, you ain't got no direction on how to fix that problem,
right?
That costs you money, right? And not only when it happens, it's not going to happen just one time, right? It's going to happen multiple times. And not with just one car. It's going to happen with every car. You get what I'm saying? So there was things that was like, yeah, we was doing good when the cars was new and we had good people to rent them. But then what happened when bad people rent them?
Right.
What happened when the tires blow out? What happened when the police start chasing these jokers? Right. What happened when your car get impounded? What happened when they take it to Pennsylvania and don't tell you and leave it at the airport? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff that happens within your business.
And a mentor would have made a difference.
Bro, a mentor would have fixed all them problems. Yeah. So, yeah, our business was doing good for 2 years, but then we had to put a stop to it because it started to milk us too much. And that was one of the ways that I went to zero.
Bam, there you go. Messing up, not having a mentor in the beginning, not setting your foundation correctly, probably not even coming in at the right entry point, which is really the most important strategy when you doing business is the entry point. You know, if you come in bad, you're going to end bad. If you come in smooth, you're going to end smooth. So, all right, bro, thank you for sharing that, bro. I know that's a real transparent moment for you, so I appreciate you for sharing that because I think a lot of people need to hear that. Yeah. You know, not having that mentor costs you, but you being a mentor to others has also blessed other people.
Yeah.
Like that. I like that.
And I learned that, like, bro, sometimes I just need to stay in my lane. You know what I mean? Like
real estate Mills.
Yeah, I'm real estate Mills. I ain't Turo Mills. No, I call myself Maserati Mills. The first car I bought was a Maserati. Yeah, I mean,
and Maserati do numbers though. I had a Maserati in my fleet. That thing did numbers.
And you wrapped it. You had wrapped it yellow.
Yeah, bro, everybody wanted that car. Put the stars in the ceiling. Yeah, boy, that Maserati made
red
numbers.
Interior,
and it's a good entry point car. You can get a Maserati for cheap. You can rent it out for high.
Yeah.
You had a Maserati in your fleet?
Yeah. I had a Maserati Ghibli turbo. Yep. It
Yeah.
was super cold.
Yeah.
I ain't rapping and do all with. I had the little peanut butter seats and stuff. But see, my market and your market, two different markets. Like mine ain't do that good in my market. My Chargers and my trucks was doing better than my luxury cars. So I was the Charger man. In my city, I'm Charger man. You want a Charger, any color you want, orange, green, yellow, blue, purple, any Charger you want, I got it. You know what I'm saying? You want the Hemi, you want this, like we got it. You know what I'm saying? In the trucks. But yeah, bro, I put that down. I learned, like, look, I'm real estate Mills. Let me stay in my lane.
Right.
And like I'm fixing up all that even still now today. You know what I mean? I'm still fixing up my credit.
That's what happened when you get distracted, though. You know, I think distraction can kill success. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you was making money, you had money, and then you kind of got bored with it and wanted to do something else. And you got distracted. Yeah. And then you jumped into something without a mentor, then you blew it. Yeah. Yeah, that's a recipe to failure.
Facts.
Sheesh.
It's important to have a mentor for sure.
So before we wrap it up, bro, I like to get into my last segment of the show. It's called This or That.
Let's get it.
This or that, bro. So I'm going to ask you 5 things. I'm going to ask you this, I'm going to ask you that, and you got to tell me why after that, okay?
Oh, that's fire.
All right.
Let's get it.
Bet. So let's just start off kind of off topic, this or that. Kobe or Jordan?
I'm going to go Kobe. And you say why?
Yeah, you got to tell me why.
I say Kobe, first of all, because I'm too young to have seen Jordan play anyway. And Kobe is the best emulation of Jordan than anybody, bro. Like, Kobe studied Jordan, fam. Like, I think Kobe had to go up against harder competition. You know what I mean? Their work ethic was similar, but I haven't seen Jordan. So I'm not one to say who's better or who's more leader, who made the biggest impact. But Kobe is my era. So I'm going Kobe.
You going Kobe?
I'm going Kobe. R.I.P. Kobe. Shout out Kobe.
R.I.P. the Mamba. All right. The second one. I see you iced up. You got on, you know what I'm saying? You got on that, you know what I'm saying? So, all right. This or that. Lab diamonds or natural diamonds?
Well, you got to go natural. I ain't with that moissanite and all that. What's the other one called? Lab grown.
Lab grown.
Diamond. Yeah, bro.
You
like, going
natural?
If you gonna do it, you do it all the way.
Well, some people want to skip the line. You just told people about skipping the line.
Yeah, but not when it comes to that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I didn't buy, like, we call these trophies now, right? I ain't buy a trophy until I was in business for like 7 years. Man.
Right.
Like,
and the trophy, it wasn't to show other people, it was to show yourself that you did something.
Yeah, and because I'm, you know, we hip hop, we connoisseurs, like, we love hip hop, bro. Your favorite artist rocking what? You rocking the chain. So I said, like, I ain't want no Rolly watch or nothing when I get my money. I said, whenever I get my trophy or whatever, I'm gonna save up for a custom chain, and I'm gonna ice that mug all the way out and put my name and business on it. You know, and that's what I did.
All right, bet. So, Mills don't do lab diamonds. We got that on record. We got that on record.
Do lab diamonds.
Mills don't do lab
Bring
diamonds.
your diamond tester anytime. I'll gladly give it to you.
All right. Cool. All right, so Courtney, don't kill me for this one.
You talking about the wife?
Yeah, the wife. Don't kill me for this one. So since we talking about lab and natural, we going natural or BBL?
Me and my wife was talking about this, right? I'm glad you bringing this up. Let's be transparent on the podcast.
Yes.
Naturally, I like I'm a natural dude, bro. That's just how I am. The BBL look good, right? But I'm a natural dude, and just being transparent, we was talking about, like, should I pay, babe, should I pay for you to, but you might be way too OC. Cause, like, you already OC in my eyes. You know what I mean? Y'all can think what y'all want, but in my eyes, you the finest woman in the world. If we put that BB thing on you, like, I don't want that to hurt nobody. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calm Mills now.
You gonna keep it natural?
Yeah, man.
Natural diamonds on the natural
girl. Diamonds.
Okay.
Natural diamonds, natural wife.
I like that.
Natural wife, natural life.
All right, so that's 3. All right, that's 3. Let me see. Number 4. We're going new construction or wholesale?
I'm going to go wholesale because I got the most experience in it, and I think the money comes faster. But what I learned from somebody who's in the construction space is that when you do a deal with construction, the lowest amount, if it's done right, the lowest profit every time is 6 figures. Every time, if done correctly, right? And that's buying it right, making sure you get your drawings for the right price. Make sure that there's no mistakes.
Everything right.
Management, project management, all this type stuff. Having the right contractors and pulling permits. Like if done correctly, the new build industry can be very, very lucrative. But I'm just like a turn and burn type dude, bro. I like speed. Like even if the profit a little bit less, if I got a lot of them and I can just crank them out with speed, that's my addiction. So I'm gonna say wholesale.
Wholesale.
But I might be biased though.
Yeah, your real estate mills, wholesale mills, automation mills.
But I'm gonna get in construction though for sure.
Yeah. All right, bet. So all right, the last one. I know you like to travel. I know you just left a spot. Let's see, this or that. We going to San Diego or we going to Colombia? We staying in the country, we going out the country.
Of course, out the country, right? I gotta go out the country. Why? Because when I went to Colombia, like over any other place that's domestic within the United States, like we just get so, I say, comfortable with what we have, and we don't think about like what life would be like if you didn't have electricity, if you didn't have like the healthiest running water, if you didn't have your cell phone, if you ain't have your laptop or your computer. Bro, when I go to Colombia, right, and I see these villages and these neighborhoods, like they don't have electricity. They got a house, but it ain't bright.
And they happy.
And that's what I was just finished. And they're very, very happy. Yes. We got everything and talk about we having a bad day.
And wow.
Or multiple bad days.
Right. So going out the country just kind of give you that perspective of it could be worse. And people still being happy.
Yes, bro. Because like going out the country, like going back in time to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's what people was doing back then before the invention of this, the invention of that. And it's like, no, we in 2025 and there's cats who still living like that. And they thriving, they happy, they healthy, they eating good. They families is taken care of. They having more babies than us and they all taken care of just fine and everybody happy and moving around. Now you got some countries who can't get access to food and running water. And that's where I want to kind of come in and be that person to say, I want to thrive in entrepreneurship and I want God to bless my business so that I can go out there and bless others that he doesn't, like I've had that experience for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm a small person. Like it ain't much I can change, but if I can change something like a little bit and just feed one kid or feed one village, you know what I mean? And just, or even go over there and start telling them like how God impacted my life and how a relationship with Christ is essential to salvation, and just be able to just go out there and talk my talk and just create, like you said, that I word, that impact. You get what I'm saying? That's why I really want to be successful, and then show my kids that being selfish, you know, because kids come out the womb selfish. Like my son be like, that's my toy, or, you know, with his little brother, he want to snatch a toy out of it. Like they naturally are selfish. You know what I mean? I want to teach my kids that giving and being, you know, selfless is going to bring you more than trying to just hold on to stuff that you own. You know what I mean?
Hey, family, boy. Hey, bro, appreciate you, man.
You already know.
You my dog. You flew from Tampa, man, last night, bro. Came to see me. Then you got to get back to the fam tomorrow, bro.
Yeah,
I really salute you, bro. I appreciate you. Not only for coming, bro, for being a good friend, bro. We don't find friends like you, dog. Somebody I can talk to about anything, bro. Learn, build together, bro. So I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on this show, man. That means a lot to me. And just thank you, bro. So before we leave, you want to tell the world anything? You want to wrap this on up?
Yeah, for sure. If y'all want to follow me, you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Real Estate Mills. That's on all platforms, TikTok and Instagram at Real Estate Mills. I do have a class coming up on July 6th. It's a masterclass where we're showing you how to attract motivated sellers into your real estate wholesale business without the hassle of cold calling. It's July 6th, Sunday. And I really do them like every Sunday, you know. But
link in bio.
Yep, link in bio.
Yes,
Just click
sir.
the link in my bio on any of my platforms, and I'm sure Mike will let us drop the link in the description as well.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all can get
That's
access
easy
to
money,
that.
easy money. Hey, man,
sir.
Big shout out to you, bro. Big shout out to God. Big shout out to everybody who's watching this, man. I just love this platform because I'm able to bring my super friends on. We have these conversations all the time, but I really built this platform so other people can hear the conversations that I have I just want to share
hard.
the inside, bro.
That's hard.
I don't want to hold all the goodness to myself, bro. Hold all the gems and the knowledge to myself. And we don't do no gatekeeping up here. So I appreciate you for dropping those gems. And this is another Building Billions podcast episode. Peace.
Mills.